Hello fam, how are you all doing? Let's talk about women taking their husbands to court and asking for divorce because their husbands are asking for too much sex. Let's have a look.
Years of marriage, Mrs. Fleming, you're ready to end it. Yes. Tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, Jerome, he has a sexual problem.
Jerome, and what's his sexual problem?
Well, Jerome has a need for sex 5-6 times a day or whenever possible.
5 or 6 times a day?
That's
yes,
not true.
Yes, Your Honor.
Twice a day.
No, that's not true, Your Honor.
Every day. It would be nice if I could get sex every day.
No,
no,
Jerome is a sex addict.
Why do you say he's an addict?
He will wake up in the morning and he will watch porno movies.
That's only because I didn't get sex at night.
No, because he's an addict. He will watch porno movies all day. He'll wake up in the morning watching movies. He'll go to bed watching movies. I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear people moaning and groaning, and I turn around and there's a video on in the middle of the night.
Obviously, you don't have any children.
No, we have children.
So where are the children doing all of this?
Sleep.
So why are you watching movies instead of having sex with your wife?
Because my wife is not having sex with me.
So you and nor is the person on the movie screen.
If my wife is having sex with me at least twice a day,
no,
we will
he
be
wants
fine.
sex more than that. And
at least twice a day?
At least twice a day.
No.
When do you work?
I work. When I get off of work, I want some sex to relieve the tension.
When do you sleep?
No, that's not true.
Hey, it only takes 15 minutes to just finish doing my work.
Oh, so you're saying that you want a couple of little quickies?
I mean, it doesn't take that long. 15, 20 minutes.
And you weren't getting that?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. She had a problem with it. She was having sex when we first got together. She watched the pornos with me. I mean, everything was together.
Your Honor, I didn't have a problem with watching the movies. I didn't even have a problem with having sex with him all the time. But Jerome got very demanding with his sex. He wanted to have it just constantly. I mean, my body, any normal woman body cannot have sex all day, every day.
Well, he didn't say all day. He said twice a day because you're working part of the day. But normal is a relative term. I mean, some women would, just enjoy it. And would just be real excited about it. Some men would just be the opposite, that they couldn't handle it twice a day. Some women would be craving for 3 or 4 times a day, and some men would be crying. All right? So it all is relative. The point is, though, is this a surprise to either of you in a marriage? You didn't know that he had this type of, vivid, excitable sexual appetite before you married?
No, she started it off like that.
So that's what attracted you to her in the first place?
No.
Oh.
Because I waited a while before I even got some.
All right. But then once you engaged in sexual intercourse, you said she was aggressive and she had the healthy appetite
doing different things inside of a relationship,
we don't have to describe them. We can use our imagination.
Well, Your Honor, I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things because I knew how he was, and I knew what it would take to make him fulfilled. I was trying to make him happy. Because
wait a minute. Now, don't come off of it. Trying to make him happy?
Yes.
And you wasn't getting no satisfaction, right?
No, I didn't say I wasn't getting any.
So you were doing everything that he wanted just to make him happy. Miss Fleming wasn't interested in any of it? It wasn't making you happy? It wasn't exciting you? It wasn't what you wanted and enjoyed?
Yes.
No. It was okay in the beginning. But Jerome got demanding. He wanted just constantly, all the time. My body just cannot take that.
What my parents always taught me was don't start something you can't finish. So you started it with him, so you led him to believe that your appetite was just...
The judge is very right. Do not start what you cannot finish. Some men and some women have high libido, high sexual drive. They want it all the time. So it's very important for you to know the person, understand the person you are getting into a relationship with. Do not bring your best foot forward at the beginning, knowing that you're not willing to sustain it. If you see something as a red flag at the beginning, don't say, I'm willing to work with you right now, and then later on I will stop. Don't do that. Because from your conversation, it's because of what the man saw in her, how she responded to his sexual hunger or sexual whatever. That's what made him think that he will constantly get that from her. Men love sex. So men are all about sex. And the reason why some men get into relationship with women, a lot of men, so they can have constant access to a woman's body. Men are very selfish as well. This woman did say she has lupus, but that was none of the man's business. He was like, oh, she's my wife, so she should grant me access to her body whenever I want it. Isn't he being selfish in that situation? Let's have a look.
Every time you want it, come on. That's like trying to get everything you want every time you want it. Can you get every dollar you want every time you want it?
No, that ain't happening.
Can you get everything from any other human being every time you want it?
No, but this is my wife.
Respect her as a woman. She's still a human being. She still has a body. It still has limits.
How long does, see, I think this is wrong because it's not being like 4 or 5 times a day. It's never been like that, period. Okay. So for her to say it's demanding is wrong.
A lot of other things besides the surgery was going on.
Like what?
Well, I actually have, like, my mother, she has lupus, and it's genetic in my blood. And a lot of times...
You know what? Don't say, here we go. Because if you didn't think that the surgery that she had to deal with her female problem was actual surgery, you certainly won't have any understanding for lupus.
All I'm saying is that she brings this up, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with that.
How do you know? Tell me about the lupus.
Well, a lot of times my legs and things like that will be hurting or will be numb. And a lot of times I would have heart palpitations where my heart would beat real fast. And Jerome knows that. I spend a lot of time going back and forth to the hospital, to the doctor, taking steroids
trying to find out
everything.
What's wrong, right?
Right.
Which is the
But I can understand that.
You did?
Yes, I understood that. I mean, I knew that she had lupus and that sometimes, you know, I would rub her legs.
What happens with lupus?
It's supposed to be a breakdown of muscles. And things like that.
And can you tell when it's breaking down?
No,
Can you control when it's breaking down?
No.
Are there days when you have real good days
and real bad
then the
days?
Next
Some
day
days you can't even stand up. I know that. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mess with it those days. That wouldn't be like, oh, come on.
But would you complain about it because there 2 or 3 days?
Not when I knew she was sick.
He complained all the time. He said that was just an excuse. I was just trying to run that on him as an excuse because I was sick, but I was actually sick and he was not understanding.
For 2.5 years.
When divorce court returns, Tamra...
I'm sure we heard him. She's my woman, she's my wife. Or because she's your woman, she's your wife, then she should do whatever you want whenever you want it. You have high sexual drive. That is your problem. You don't want to impose that your problem on her. She is not that kind of a person. You need to have an understanding. And if she's yielding into your sexual drive all the time, she's doing you a favor. How can you be demanding sex twice, thrice a day? Don't you have things to do? I don't know if he doesn't think it's the body you use for that activity. And this lady is talking about her chances of getting lupus and the surgery she's gone for and all that. He's not thinking about that. Oh, because she's okay today means that we should have it today. What happens tomorrow? The day she's okay, does it mean that the lupus problem is gone? No. He's so selfish. This is how he's putting sex over the woman's health. He does not care. Having a good sexual relationship is very important. Sexual relationship is different from your romantic relationship. You have sexual relationship inside of your relationship with a man. You need to discuss. You need to talk about his sexual drive, your sexual drive. How many times you want to have sex and all that. You don't just assume and just get into the relationship. No, don't do that. You need to know how sex is with that man, what sex means to him. Because some men, if there's no sex in the relationship, they're not interested. A lot of men, it's all about sex for them. They don't care about the woman. They just want to have a woman they will have constant access to her body and have sex with. Some men are in the habit of downplaying women's health issue. We often see this in pregnancy. Let's have a look at this video.
Alright, Rachel, listen, bro. I know you're in pain, dude, but, bro, there are so many people that go into labor and do not act like this, dude. Like,
they act worse.
Bro, no, dude, like, bro, I've seen videos with people, like, having childs in cars and shit, bro, and they don't even be acting like this. I get perfectly fine with them. Like, come on, bro. Stick this all together at least a little bit, bro. No to hurt, but come on, dude.
Just imagine what he was saying to her. Every woman's pregnancy is different. He obviously does not care. A woman that is in labor and you're saying all that to her. Wow. Scary. When I say men are selfish, you think I'm just making it up. Coming up is another story of a Nigerian woman that went to court to ask for divorce. She said she was done with the marriage because her husband was asking for too much sex. Let's have a look.
My husband makes love from midnight till dawn. A Kaduna woman has cried out that she wants divorce from her husband because the husband be like say he no get job, he's jobless and he sees this thing as food. Let us be together, guys. A 37-year-old woman, Linda Stephen, has filed for a divorce at Kaduna Customary Court, citing her husband, Felix Stephen, excessive intimacy demands as the reason for her decision. Linda, who resides in Ungwan Sunday, Kaduna, told the court that their 6-year-old marriage had become unbearable due to her husband's relentless request for intimacy. She also accused him of physically assaulting her whenever she refused. I want this marriage to be dissolved because I can't cope with his excessive desires. His demand is too frequent, sometimes from midnight until early morning. Kilo day na food. Even when I cry, he refuses to stop. She told the court. She further revealed that she left their home 3 months ago, and despite pleas from his relatives to return, she has refused because they were unaware of what she was going through. According to her, Felix loses control whenever he wants intimacy, and when she refuses, he beats her even in front of their 2 children. Wow. In his defense, Felix told the court that he still loves his wife and does not want a divorce. He pleaded for another chance, promising to control his urges. I have taken my uncles and friends to her parents' house to beg her, but she refused to listen and walk out on us, he said. He asked the court for more time to resolve their issue and reconcile with his wife. Presiding over the case, John Jude Dauda adjourned the matter until May 6 to allow their reconciliation efforts, urging both parties to maintain peace in the meantime. Now, wow.
I'm going to say this again. Sexual relationship is very important in your marriage or relationship. You need to understand what sex truly means to your man, how often he wants it, even you yourself, what sex means to you. You don't just assume. Let's talk about Myron Gaines. He had a college lecture tour conference, I don't know what he called it, a couple of days back, and a lot happened there. Let's watch this video where he said if women didn't have vagina, they would be of no use to men. Let's have a look.
If women didn't have vaginas, we wouldn't care. No one would talk to them.
I wouldn't say that, because that's like half the population. You just like dehumanizing half the population with that statement.
I mean, well, it's the reality. We're put on Earth to procreate, correct? So men, our job is to provide resources. Their job is to extract resources, and it's been this way since the beginning of time. The only reason we're able to have this whole, moral situation is because of modernity and the access to technology and how we've progressed. But the reality is, in times of, when times are not peaceful, we get closer and closer to our traditional gender roles, right? There is no feminism when the lights are off. There is no feminism with war. There is no feminism when it comes to preserving society and moving on forward. So, the reality is that that's why the genders deal with each other. Men provide resources, women provide access to sex.
Did we all hear what Myron said? He said women provide access to sex. That means all they care about is sex. A lot of men, let me not say most men, a good number of men don't care about the women they have in their lives. It's all about sex.
Mad clips, baby.
So you said like going into a relationship or dating with a woman not expecting sex is like cope. What is?
Yeah,
what
a lot of guys tell themselves that when they're in the friend zone. Like a guy will sit there for like 3 or 4 years talking to this girl, wanting more. He knows he's stuck in the friend zone, but he just kind of sits there and be like, no, I'm just going to be a good friend. I'm going to sit around. Like, I'm just going to be here.
At that point, it's a matter of self-respect, though. Like, if you know you're not getting what you want out of a relationship, why not walk away? But if you do want a friendship for that person,
I agree.
Because women do have value outside of just sex.
No,
and,
I agree with you on that, but the problem is that most guys can't identify when they're being friend zoned, is my point.
It's easy to identify though. If the relationship not going where you want it to go, then you can walk away.
You got to understand that a lot of guys are socially retarded and not able to understand when a woman isn't that into them. I'm sure every woman in here has been hit on by a guy that made her feel uncomfortable, and he just simply didn't get it. And there's a reason for that. Women, the one compliment I will give women is they're socially superior to men. They're able to pick up on things quicker. They're able to read the room better. They're able to assess danger. And the reason for that is because they're the weaker gender physically, right? So since they can't make up for it with strength and brutality, if a dude's a little off, he's like ticking like this, or he's a weirdo, women pick up on that immediately and like, okay, danger zone, let me get out of here. So that's why a lot of guys are kind of idiotic when it comes to stuff, and they can't take the signs. You guys are useless to society, so if you're not contributing to a nuclear family, you're effectively useless to society.
So where's your nuclear family, Myron?
35 years of age with no offspring. It's funny because men who actually live these more conservative, family-centered, traditional value lives aren't doing podcasts talking about it. They're definitely not belittling other people for not following. My dad had a 14-year-old son at your age, Myron. 14-year-old son, wife, a full-time job that doesn't include sitting in a podcast studio and talking about other people. The issue for me isn't even what he's saying necessarily. I mean, I wouldn't go to the extent of saying someone's useless because they don't want to be in a nuclear family. But yeah, a nuclear family is important. Get one then. You're 35, there's no excuse. You can't preach one thing and then refuse to follow it yourself. And I've noticed that to be a trend amongst all these very, I don't even know what type of genre or content this is, but just this belittling other people type of content. They'll never preach. They'll never follow what they preach.
From a strictly biological standpoint, males are completely superfluous. The only actual biological role we serve is we're DNA transmitters. So in effect, what I am is I'm the conduit of DNA from my mom to my wife. Because first of all, there's so many of us that you don't need this many males, right? You could, if you had 100 women and one man, that's plenty. He's going to be really busy, but you could keep the population of the planet going just fine. But if you flipped it and you had 100 men and one woman, that's pretty useless. Just so that we have that in mind. So the primary role for males from a biological standpoint is we're the DNA transmitters.
That man just replied, Myron. Men and women are important when it comes to reproduction, but women are more important than men are. Let me explain. I know over the years we've seen scientists perform miracles in the lab. They can clone animals, dollar the sheep and all that. But those clones are not as good as actual humans. Figure what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked to hear that they have a factory where humans are being cloned. What I'm trying to say here is this. Science can push it further to replicate what the creator did, but it can never be as good as the creator. Those clones will always have issues and all that. So back to what I'm saying. A woman's womb is needed for the proper development of a fetus. So it's easier to get a man's sperm and fertilize a woman's egg and have a baby than give a man a woman's egg to fertilize with his sperm and grow that egg in the lab or in a test tube. You get what I mean? So what I'm pointing out here is this. Women are very important. It's not just about the fertilization. It goes beyond that. We also need a woman's womb to carry that baby. We need a uterus. We need a woman's reproductive system to carry that baby and bring that baby to life. Push that baby out. So women are more important than men. I hope Myron finds this video and understands it better. You cannot say women are useless if they're not submitting their vagina. We're not even talking about upbringing of children, training of children. Women do that more than men do.
I saw this TikTok that blew my mind. This woman said, men don't like women. They're attracted to them. There's a difference. I leapt to say, no, ma'am. And then I started thinking it through. Once I decoupled attraction from liking, because I'm not talking about our relationships with our wives and girlfriends and mothers. I'm talking about our relationship to women we are not attracted to. Once we take away attraction, do you like the way women talk? Do you understand that women see things differently, and do you respect that they see things differently? Can you say you respect woman things like, I don't know, the art of dressmaking or whatever? Like, do we take that seriously? No. Think about the way guys talk about women when women are not around. Some men definitely view women as complex and important and distinct, unique individuals who have important perspectives. And some men don't. Some men don't really see women as full human beings or as equal to men. Let's be real. I think some men see women as like a video game, or if you play it the right way, then you'll get that outcome you want. You'll win. You'll get stuff. You'll fool around with her and then you win the game. But that doesn't represent real respect for her as a person. I'm not even talking about the rise of blatant misogyny from the manosphere and the incels and all that Andrew Tate side of town. I'm talking about the way patriarchy has taught us and misogyny has taught us to see or view or treat women differently. And like, yeah, the attraction is strong, but liking them when you're not attracted to them, that's a different thing, is it not? Tell me in the comments how you feel.
So I want y'all to know that the men are actively admitting that they are marrying women that they do not like. I literally had a conversation with this guy last night and we were talking about it and he was like, oh yeah, that's like more normal than you think. He was like, yeah, my homeboy completely hates his wife. I was like, oh. Yeah, he said he had already, you know what I'm saying, set his life up, that he was just like, well, what else can she do? So therefore, he's like, I might just go ahead and get married now. May that type of love never find me.
Please let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And if you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch how men brainwash women to accept cheating in marriage. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.